are we open or closed to future connection based on the way we have processed our past disconnected experiences? So let's just take an abusive relationship as an example. You know, if you're in a relationship with somebody, an intimate relationship, where they're abusive to you, and you get used to that for many years, and it's hard to get out of it. And when you come out of it, you have become abuse. To some level, you have become imbalanced from yourself because somebody else was allowed to be abusing you repetitively. So yes, you've managed to leave the relationship, but then the healing really begins, because you have to take all of the imbalance that you got impacted by and generated in yourself in order to tolerate and cope with the abuse, and start to heal it and start to come back to who you are. Some people either don't have the support or the know-how around how to heal that, so they stay closed. So the question is, are we open or are we closed because of our past experiences? It's a really good question to ask yourself, because if the answer is I'm closed, that's fantastic. The very fact that you can recognize you're closed is the key to moving forward. It's when people don't realize they're closed. And you may have experienced this either in yourself, you may have noticed this about yourself, or you may have noticed that with a friend. It's when a friend that you go out with perhaps one night with the idea that she's going to look for a new date, and that's what the intention of the evening is. Yeah, let's go out and look for a date together. And she spends the whole 3 hours talking about the man that she can't stand, who she divorced a year ago. She's clearly not ready to move on. The wound is talking. You've put her in a situation where you're supporting her to find another date, and all she wants to do is hang on to the pain because she hasn't healed. So she can't move forward into a new relationship or a new connection because she hasn't healed the pain, and she also isn't willing to see, what is it that I learned in that relationship? I'm a big believer that in toxic relationships, you often have to just give a boundary. I've seen some people be able to get to a place with the relationship where both parties transform a little and have a new awareness, and that's a beautiful thing. But usually if a relationship is toxic and is destructive and is destroying or eroding one or both parties, there usually needs to be a clean break, at least for a while, so that the imbalance that has been caused in that relationship can start to heal. So when I asked you the question, what are your pain, what in those relationships that were painful or challenging have you learned from it? It's a great sign for you if you're able to write down for yourself, well, I think I learned to be less patient with people if they are being abusive or critical. So if there's something that you've come out of that relationship with, use that as part of your trust about finding a new level of relationship in the future. Because what can often happen when we've had challenging or painful friendships, relationships, business partnerships, family members, we have a PTSD reaction in our body to the last time it happened. And we have to lovingly and gently walk ourselves through that PTSD reaction. So in the example I just gave about the dating, you might lean over and touch your friend's arm and go, honey, we're here to look for a new boyfriend. Why don't we leave him in the past? And she might hear you and go, yeah, you're right, actually. You know, we've been talking about him for 2 hours and he's your ex. He's in the past now. So why don't we try and be open to the future and look around in this bar and see if there's anybody that you want to, connect with. So sometimes we just need help from someone else, and sometimes we can offer other people help to reconnect to the now and get out of the past. So it's a good question to ask yourself as you're manifesting connected relationships. Are there any relationships in my past that I still have a very active, wounded story around?